everyone, welcome to Babies with Knives. Tonight we're playing Chaotic Origins using the Super's Red system. I'm your host, Alice Peng, and known as Lala Twiddle on the boards. My co-host is Brandon Powers, our GM.
Howdy, howdy.
With us this evening is Aldo Regalado, Revised Edition's author, playing Ghostlight.
Co-author.
Co-author, yes, co-author.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Timothy Lamaster playing Diamond Jim, and Lee Lamaster playing Blue Streak. Let's get started.
All right, so since we have a new character coming in of Blue Streak, I just wanted to go ahead and give her a little preface, is that there has been a number of disappearances of young being, late high school, early college age girls in the Harlem area as a burgeoning superhero. This is a world, I don't know, I assume that Tim had you look at the document on what the world is a bit like, but this is a world that superheroes have existed in the past, but they're more like National Enquirer news, and it's been since 9/11 that any superheroes are really reported to be around. So when you developed powers, it was somewhat astonishing, probably, but that each of the characters had this drive upon developing powers to use them, and since you guys are the good guys, to use them for good. You have been investigating this disappearance, as well as there's a number of weird, strange things that have been getting reported, including, I think it was just last night that there was an attack at the Met where a number of the premiers of New York City were held hostage, and superheroes are reported to have come down and saved the people there. Some media outlets portray that in a good light. Some media outlets portray that in a pretty bad light. So it all depends on which news network you're listening to on, or which editorials you're reading on how you might feel about that. But your investigation into the girls has led you to probably super speeding around in the Harlem area, just trying to find anything that is unusual, and lo and behold, you have actually found an obvious battle between these between the heroes that were on the news last night and some other individuals. As you super speed up to a place, you see this one guy wrapped in a loincloth get flung off of the roof. He lands on his feet on the pavement, breaking the pavement, and then runs into a building. Up from the roof that he was just launched from, you see shadows being dispersed by some strange flickering lights up there, and as well as, I don't remember exactly what, Alice, you were doing at the time.
I was creating big builds of scarabs. Remember the golden scarabs?
Oh, the golden scarabs,
The
yes. So a very bright light is flashing up there. And why don't the three of you, starting with Aldo, go ahead and just give a quick description of characters.
Yeah, so Ghostlight is basically wearing a midnight blue muscle suit or bodysuit. There is, playing on that field is a light, like a will-o'-the-wisp style kind of light that sometimes usually manifests on his chest, but it will actually move around the whole field depending on what he's doing at what moment. And he's wearing a white cape and cowl, right, that shadows his, the midnight blue looks kind of black when the cowl is kind of over it, And yeah, actually at this point though, probably when you see him exhibiting his powers, he's completely white. He's emitting light, and he's only coming down from that now. So the light is kind of like coalescing in this middle of his chest, and that's when you see the midnight blue body stocking, body suit that is his costume.
And why don't we go to Diamond Jim?
Well, my name is Diamond Jim. I'm from Tennessee.
Physical description.
Yep, physical.
I basically look like a 7-foot tall guy made out of diamond. Look like a statue cut straight out of diamond. I'm basically just wearing clothes. I ain't wearing no costume because it ain't Halloween. I mean, I could probably go anywhere at Halloween, but that's basically what I look like. I got blue eyes, kind of a light blue crystalline body, so I don't look normal at all. That's basically what I look like. Pretty simple. Kind of got the Ben Grimm thing look. I don't wear no costume, just something to make me look covering me for modesty's sake.
How tall is he, by the way?
Yeah,
Is he normal human height, or is he bigger than that?
He's
Like,
7 foot, he said.
He's 7 foot? Okay.
yeah, I think 7 or 8 feet. I think I got like I don't have it here, so about 7 feet. Yeah, so I'm big, but not big. I'm not giant. I'm not a giant. I'm just big.
But you still gotta look up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Michael Crichton was 6'9". And Alice, how about you?
Kayla is 5'10". She's slim. She has short curly hair. Her eyes are blue, but there's flecks of gold and brown in them. Her skin, she's got dark skin with a long triangular face. For reference, Jessica White would be a pretty good comparison for her physical features. Scarab, when in costume, she has a tiara, if you can call it that, a crown, that is a golden scarab that would cover her third eye, and the legs of it extend around her forehead to wrap around as a crown. She wears a long Egyptian dress with a form-fitting bodice, a V-neck, the sleeveless clasps where the bands would ruffle on the top are clasped with golden scarabs, 2 on each side. She has on her left eye, the Eye of Ra drawn in charcoal around the eyeshadow. On her opposite arm, she has an armband made of gold. And she is wearing high-heeled sandals. Last thing would be the fact that clasped to those 2 beetles, she has wings, diaphanous fabric that mimics the look of beetle wings that come off her shoulders. Yep, that's a pretty good, solid done.
And so, Blue Streak, as you're coming running up to this, you see these individuals, as I said, just finishing up a fight. One guy gets knocked off the roof, lands on his feet, and runs into a building. And so, at that point, I don't know if any of you guys might notice Blue Streak. You're welcome to toss awarenesses or anything similar.
Do I describe myself now, or?
I'm just seeing if any of them have seen you yet, or if
I rolled a 6 total.
6 is good enough.
I've got an 11.
11's definitely awesome. All right, so yeah, go ahead and describe yourself. Diamond Jim is the only one that's not really noticed her. He's more keeping his eye on that guy he just booted off the roof.
Right. Well, I'm a little shorter than I am. My character is a little shorter than I am. 5'4", which is just about average for women from my islands. And I have a light brownish red or reddish brown skin tone. My eyes are dark, very dark brown. You might think it's black, but it's not. My hair is very short, cropped. It had to be stylishly cut because Indian hair is so straight. You have no idea. And so no curl whatsoever. And I'm wearing it's a jogging outfit, or it looks like very skin tight leotard and shirt type of thing. I don't know exactly what you call it, made out of silver material. And there is a blue lightning strike across the chest. And my cap has a very small lightning in a circle in the front. Also blue lightning.
Awesome. I've kind of got an inverse of Quicksilver's costume in my mind, but not quite that the skin tight. All right. So yes, Aldo, Scarab.
Sorry, Aldo.
You see an individual down there that zooms up and seems to stop for a moment. And is there a manifestation as you run fast, like the Flash will have the colors and the lightning bolts trailing behind him? Blue streak. Do you get anything like that?
I'm sorry. What?
Do you have does your power have an obvious manifestation, like the Flash will leave a stream of color behind him and the lightning bolts that arc off of him when he's running around? Does yours do anything?
I haven't really considered that, but yeah, I suppose for effect, I could do that. You see, instead of flashing silver like my costume, for some reason, you've heard of the Doppler effect.
Yes.
Well, my Doppler effect, when I run, leaves behind a bluish streak behind me.
Awesome.
Blue streak.
All right. We're going to give a quick pause. Alice needs to start the recording again.
Go.
Okay, so yes, the blue streak, you see them up on the roof. They see you come in with that blue Doppler effect down below. Diamond Jim seems more focused on the very large, muscular individual in a loincloth that he just knocked off the roof and is currently hot-footing it back into a building. The shadows have been dispersed by your light as well as by Scarab's beetles, Aldo. And I think you guys knocked out all the guys that were trying to bludgeon people. I think Diamond Jim took care of them.
Yes, I think
Um,
so. He's actually, his, when he sees Blue Streak, he's gonna kind of like, whoa, I think this is the second wave, and like alert Diamond Jim, and he'll.
That's kind of how Scarab takes it. So she's going to turn her army's attention over, and they're going to basically start building a barricade in front of me ready. So, Blue Streak, you see just this army of little scarab beetles, all very much alive and crawling. They're prismatic colored on the back and have this gold reflection on them, is what the ones that are out right now. And they seem to be basically getting on top of each other and building some sort of barrier in front of me.
Now, you guys see that guy run off and away, and she's coming from a different direction because you do see him running into a building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not disagreeing with that kind of initial thought, by all means.
Yeah. Ghostlight, the guy with the white cape and cowl and the blue field, right? The midnight blue suit. He goes all white and looks like hazy, essentially, like you could see through him. He's translucent. And he jumps off of the rooftop and starts kind of gliding down towards you.
Okay. So I stop. I'm looking at you guys. I'm standing like with my hands out on my sides to show you that they're empty. That's a gesture of I don't mean you any harm. But I'm looking at you, my head held proud, and I'm waiting to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so given your posture, as he's coming down, he's like, I'm getting the sense that you're not with these guys. And he'll basically land in front of you.
So,
well, I'm not from this neighborhood.
Scarab will, sand starts to form around her. The floor beneath her opens up. She disappears from it and reappears next to Aldo, next to Ghostlight, and this gust of sand just fills the air as she comes rising up from the ground.
Ghostlight looks over at her rise out of the ground and then looks back at Blue Streak. He's like, well, I'm not from this neighborhood either, but...
well, I'm going to make a expletive, not in English... Wow.
Over there. My name's Jim. What's yours?
I'm Blue Streak.
And what brings
That
you
looks
out?
kind of accurate.
And what brings you out this late at night, Blue Streak? You seem a bit young to be wandering in such bad times.
Well, at home, I could walk the beaches at any time and not fear anything. So I just went for a walk.
All right, listen. We have to get after these guys. Umbrus, right? That's who he said that he worked for. Umbrus.
Yes, Umbrus.
Yes.
Brandon, does she
Umbrus.
look like she would be a target?
No, she's from a very different genetic stock than you.
Cool. We need to get in there before more of my host's similarities get more killed.
What's going on? I just saw somebody run off and somebody get thrown off the roof.
Yeah, we didn't get his name, but he works for somebody named Umbrus, who runs a cult out of that building. And they've been abducting young women from this neighborhood, from Harlem. And we're afraid that they're no longer, well, we don't have the bodies, but it doesn't look good.
You see Scarab's eyes flicker black and then back to blue, and a very different voice, a much younger voice comes out with a very much a local accent. They've been taking girls that look like me. So we think that maybe they think that they can get something out of them that is actually in me. I'd like to stop them before they take any more or find us, so we're just going to bring me to them.
For what purpose are they taking these girls?
We're not entirely sure yet, right?
Were the girls willing?
No. If my friend is if the Scarab Queen is accurate, they're taking the girls because they think that the girls are me, and more specifically that the girls are hosting Scarab Queen, and they want the Scarab Queen. Eyes flicker blue and back to black and back to blue again. Yes, I believe that I may be responsible. I came to this time and this place in search of assistance. The young one has been gracious enough to host me. She has a surprising power within her. Together we live in a symbiotic relationship. Unfortunately, it seems my enemies are attempting to find me and taking anyone that looks like my host.
You speak many strange things, but the girls were taken without their
they were kidnapped.
They were abducted.
Kidnapped means to be taken without their willingness?
Yes, without
that
their
cannot
consent.
be. That cannot be.
So we must save them if they are still alive. I have attempted to divine if they are still alive, but I have not found any evidence that they are. So at least we can prepare to stop them from taking anyone else. And
Jim, you coming down?
I'm sorry?
He calls up, Jim, are you coming down?
We're out there.
Can I use either awareness or survival to see if I can do any tracking?
You're in the middle of the city, but you all saw the building that an individual ran into and that they seem to be gesturing towards regarding
I'm going to go into that building and try to use some tracking and survival to see if I can find any footsteps or anything that might lead me to where they're going. I mean, I come from the islands. It's not quite as sophisticated as New York is at this time. You know, some little tiny island out in the Caribbean. We just got running water, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna use
well, New York's gonna be a bit noisy for you if you're used to a small town.
I'm used to
That's what my character
tiny
said.
village in the jungle. That's what I'm used to.
And New York's going to be very noisy for you. Harlem
I
is
know
no
that.
exception.
Blue Streak runs over to the building, just going, extremely fast in a blink of an eye, and then you guys see her standing over at the building and starting to track, just look around at the local scene and such. What are the rest of you doing as she's running off that way?
I want to go and see if I can find a window to look in.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little scouting. I'll be in touch. And he's going to
Well,
he's gonna ghost
I'm
into
gonna
the
go.
ground and see if he can go to the basement level and just poke his head through and stuff.
Okay.
That big guy wearing that diaper. I think I gotta go. We didn't finish. We got some unfinished business. So I'm gonna follow after him. And I'll go like that once.
All right. To Blue Streak, as you are running across the ground to get over to the building to start your tracking, you are noticing that the individual that you saw run this way has left some obvious spider webbing in the pavement from his footfalls. He ran pretty quickly that way. You run over, and you can go ahead and give me your roll on survival.
5.
Okay. As you start checking the ground, it's obvious that people come and go in and out of the building on a fairly regular basis, and you do notice that some people have just recently traversed it within, you'd guess, at least the last hour. Beyond that, you're not picking up any specific details. Alice, you head over to a window, and as you do, you fall into the shadow as you're moving off from the main thoroughfare that runs between the building and the park, and the street lights over here aren't so good. And as you fall under the shadow, all of a sudden your vision of this building that's lit up well kind of flickers out for a brief moment, and you see more of this condemned looking structure with windows boarded up. The light is not, it's not lit up like a building might be with people occupying it and such, but instead it's dark, and that vision is gone in just a moment.
Okay.
Jim, you quickly run up and catch up with the woman that's identified herself as Blue Streak as she is checking the ground a little bit. I don't know if you're planning on continuing in past her or not.
Well, I'll stand by and I'll stay with her. It's good to stay together. You don't want. Number one rule is don't split out the party.
Okay.
Well, it seems
And Aldo
and I have split off from the two of you. It sounds like though.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get you
Well,
on
that was your decision. Jim's following the rule. I never care if people split the group.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take a look at you, and I'm going to see what let me see. I'm going to use my composure to see what I think of somebody who is crystal clear and 7 foot tall. It's nearly twice as tall as me.
Lee, just remember, composure is not something that you roll actively like that. It's only it's your hit points basically, and to resist damage, right? So you'd be rolling like awareness or something else.
Okay.
One of your aptitudes.
I'll use awareness.
Resistances
Thank
aren't
you.
like strength, dex, con, or wisdom into charisma like in D&D. They
Okay.
are very different.
I'll get the hang of it soon.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
That's fine.
I rolled a 3, so I'm like stunned. I'm looking at you. I am stunned. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
All right. And Aldo, you are floating down to the basement, you said, to do a little scouting?
Yeah.
So you had sent the wisp through, and all it had seen was black as it moved through.
I just want to basically confirm that that's still the case.
You come down into the basement, and you peek out basically, and while the rooms are dark and such, that there's no active light in here, you can tell that's from somewhere down here there is light.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Alice, you look like you've got a comment.
What?
I'm going to sonar up.
Oh.
Okay. All of a sudden, scarab beetles start coming out of basically any nook or cranny, anything that will provide some place that's slightly out of sight. And go ahead and roll your wizardry, Alice, to manifest your power.
Activated all 5 dice successfully.
Well, it's just you. At that point, you'd say it's a target number 15 for 5 dice, and it's either all or nothing.
True, all or nothing. But I was going with 5 dice, so 12, 17, 21, 24. Sorry, 23.
That's a pretty impressive roll on 5.
Yeah.
6,
So-
6, 5, 4, 2.
What are you trying to detect with your sonar?
The beetles are going to just start trying to ping and try and figure out how many people are inside and where they're located. I'm trying to build this mental image using the radar sense and just pinging back and forth to figure out if they're hostage takers and if they're hostages, because victims and hostages are generally going to be in very specific positions. They're going to be tied up. They're going to be prone.
Okay.
So I'm just building the mental image feeling out for 360 degrees for all my little scarab beetles.
Sure. You find it's a 2-story structure, but it's got 2 sub-basements as your scarabs start piling out from everywhere, basically. There are a number of rooms on all levels. The main room is dominated by one large room, but there's a couple smaller rooms behind that. The upper floor, a lot of it seems, once again, like one large but much smaller room. And then there's, once again, a couple smaller rooms closer to the stairs. The big room goes from the stairs off and doesn't have rooms coming off of it. Downstairs, you at first have a large room, and then there's a number of smaller rooms, and then the stairs lead down to the second basement.
Okay.
And in there, the rooms where normally they're boxy and such, this one has a strange feel to it.
Okay.
The build of it is more of, so rooms are normally boxy, so here's my D6. Mm-hmm. It's more turned on its points.
Okay.
Rather than being a flat on.
As it's pinging, by the way, the image of how this radar sonar gets in my mind is similar to how you've seen Daredevil's vision kind of manifest, that you can see, that black and white, that resonating every time that sound pings at all. The echo creates that image, and that's exactly what's happening in my head right now as I'm watching the Beatles, as they're building the image for me. What about people? What am I sensing on people?
As for people, there are a few in the front room that Diamond Jim and Blue Streak are approaching. Most of them seem to be in that strangely shaped room downstairs.
Okay.
There is one person that is in the center of that room, and the big guy is running down into that room right now.
Okay. At that point, sand will manifest beneath my feet. I will call my scarabs back, and I drop into the sand pit. I will pop out near Diamond Jim and Blue Streak.
Okay. Aldo, were you coming back after having looked in there?
Well, if he could actually see in there, that it's not some, all-encompassing blackness that he wouldn't be able to perceive through, he would have actually ghosted into the basement and try to get a look at that level, trying to kind of angle himself. He eventually does want to surface, but he kind of wants to take a pass at the lower levels and then kind of come up where they might be, kind of find them as they go into the building, because he knows they're going in there, but he wants to kind of stay to the side, as a potential cavalry if need be, right? So.
Okay. Do you have a stealth, Aldo?
I was just looking at that, and I don't. I think what I'm going to try to do is that I'm going to be moving through walls using my insubstantiality.
Yeah.
So poking my head through walls and stuff. So if I can use my insubstantiality in place of stealth,
that works completely fine.
Poke
At
your
that
eyes
point,
out, back into the wall, eyes out, back in the wall.
Exactly.
So, just what I was planning on doing was either giving you a similar bonus to like invisibility of a 2-die bonus, but if you just want to be using the insubstantiality, and that's going to be better than taking a 2-die bonus, go for that.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be better, but it'll be appropriate, I think. So let's see, it's pretty good. A 15.
A 15, okay. Let me give you a little bit of an opposition roll here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You spend a while poking around, and the first basement, the first level of the basement that you came out on, has a couple of lamps in it. These are electric, and that's what's providing light. There are rooms that are set up basically as cages, as prison occupancy that you can see as you're moving through. And you begin to hear chanting from lower down, and you end up finding the stairway leading to a level below. To the group out front, the Scarab Queen comes up out of the sand next to all of you guys. Just kind of in this, I believe you're like spinning up or spinning down,
Cyclone
Alice.
of sand, basically, coming up.
Yeah. And
I'll get used to that.
And so she appears next to the group of you as you guys are entering the front door.
They're downstairs. I think Ghostlight's already there, and he may need our assistance. I may be able to get us there quickly. Would you like to try your way or my way? Looking at Diamond Jim.
What you think, new kid?
I don't know. How do you do it? I'm new here.
I create a pathway through the land of the dead.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Some find it cathartic, others find it traumatizing. Diamond Jim found it traumatizing the first time, while Ghostlight found it cathartic and thanked me.
The land of the dead?
Yes.
If the, well, actually, I'm curious. If there's something bad that's going to happen, can I run away? Would I be able to run away?
I do not know what you mean by that. The pathway itself is a closed tunnel of sorts. If we need to discuss this for so long, perhaps it is best if we just walk the distance quickly. I worry that Ghostlight may be in danger. At this point, since they would need too long to discuss this, I'm going to start moving into the building.
Aldo, I'm going to jump back over to you. Hearing that chanting downstairs, what are you doing?
You're going again, Tim.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what? He'll see if he can approach the chanting and again kind of poke his head through the wall. He doesn't want to reveal himself, but if he can gather some intel to take back to the others, that would be worthwhile, he thinks. So he's going to try that.
Sure. You come downstairs and look, and like I said, it's like a room that is kind of cocked onto its side, that it ziggurats down in a series of tiers and such, each of them getting smaller until you get to the center of the room. Do you have occultism?
I do not have occultism, no.
Okay.
Unless there's something in the FBI files that he's worked with that dealt with that. And remember, he's counterterrorism, so probably not, unless there's something unique in this universe that would apply. But yeah, and keep in mind, he's not taking the stairs. He's in
you're in the
through the
walls.
walls.
You come down and are looking around, trying to peer through, and you're in this strange room that is lit by candles. There are a number of people down here that are chanting and such. Go ahead and give me your awareness.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It's only a 5.
Okay. In the center of the room, there is a sarcophagus-like object that looks very old to you, and the individuals are built around it, chanting. You see the guy that Diamond Jim punted off the roof, and he runs over to a female that is basically looks like the high priestess type. She is dressed in dark robes with this ornate headdress on. Kind of looks like a dark elf from the Warhammer Fantasy universe, but much more clothed than their dark elf females. And he utters something, and since you're just kind of poking your head out, you don't really hear that well. She gets a look of displeasure on her face, says something, and reaches out, touches him, and he screams out, obviously in pain, and begins to shrivel. At that point, I'm going to go ahead and ask you for a defense roll as this necrotic energy rushes through the chamber and such.
Okay, all right. A defense roll, eh? Let me let's see. Let me see what I'm going to use to defend.
And you can see and sense it a little bit running through the walls, and that the chamber is kind of funneling that energy around.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to use my flight to backpedal out of there. And my flight is more defensive than anything else, so let's see. I didn't roll great. 12 total.
Uh-oh. That is going to be a failure on 2 degrees.
Yowzers. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a die off of composure and a die off of fortitude, because I figure it hurt and it's, it frightened him. So those are both appropriate. And he's flying back away from it because he used flight to defend. So yeah, at that point he'll try to make his way back to the others.
Okay. So you made out 13 individuals chanting in there, Aldo. But you didn't see the entire room all that well, and that's not counting the high priestess individual.
And the diaper guy, or the not diaper guy,
Diaper guy.
I'm carrying
loincloth.
I'm caring for an 18-month-old. So okay, so the loincloth guy,
the man who stole my child's diapers.
Yes, he shriveled, as in looked like he was no more.
You didn't see that far since you flew away, but he was obviously diminishing. His extremely muscled nature was beginning to wither away and such like that.
Okay, all right. So he'll try to head back to the others.
So you find the group as they are hustling down the stairs, having a conversation about how they're going to get back up to you.
Okay,
and that's where the team groups back up together.
Okay, he'll ghost through the wall in front of them, and he looks like frazzled, right?
Yeah, scared.
Yeah, scared, but also like his body's in pain, right? And he puts his hands up. He says, there are a lot of people in there. 13, a high priestess of some sort, and she just, I don't know, she just punished the toga guy. I don't know if he made it or not, but whatever she did filled that room with something very painful, very dark.
Occult to see if I can tell that he's been hurt, that his soul has been injured.
Sure.
And there's some
I rolled
sort
a
of
5.
You don't know at this time.
That's fine.
and there's some sort of sarcophagus in there too. Something that looks like it might be up your alley. Points at Scarab.
I saw all
So,
of that through my army. We were on our way
Scarab?
to go meet you downstairs.
Scarab, to you, as you try and reach out and sense things with your occult, you get that this place is extremely dark and nefarious. It's that moment where you flashed between two different sights on the outside as you fell into shadow comes back. This time, the downstairs, which is not well lit, is not well cared for, but you suddenly flash over to it being filled with spider webs, that there are skittering monsters on the edges. You get that, as in a horror movie, kind of sound that when you jerk from one reality to another kind of effect go on as you are piercing the veil and seeing that.
My eyes flicker again, black then back. The Scab Queen and I don't feel so well all of a sudden. She says it's this place. We need to deal with whatever is downstairs fast. I don't think she's gonna feel too well afterwards.
When she attacked that guy, it came at me through the walls, so I hear what you're saying. It's the place itself, maybe? I mean, it like ripped into me.
She says, Scarab Queen, I don't understand that word. Oh, she says it's profane. The opposite of sanctified. This place is dark, and places like this, it makes her hurt.
You gonna say something, huh? You gonna say something, Lee?
Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah. Did you see the girls?
I didn't. I saw about 13 cultists. I saw the priestess. I saw the toga guy. Not toga, the loincloth guy. I don't know why I just want to misname his clothing as much as possible. The loincloth guy.
The guy in the tuxedo.
The tuxedo. Yeah, why not?
This matches my sonar, Brandon, on the numbers? Suit. Or did I see more or less with my sonar?
You didn't count specifically. There were many.
Okay. If they took the girls and there's a sarcophagus, they're probably trying to use their life forces to bring something to this world that shouldn't be. We need to get down there fast.
All right.
Quickly.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
I start hauling. I'm not trying to split from the party, but...
Well, I assume we're all moving together at this point.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's going to...
We're going to do
if somebody's going to use the power to get down there, I'll sand it. All magic of the sun and sands. As a reminder, Brandon, any damage done to me by profane powers will be causing me damage, extra damage.
Okay, that means that you roll 2 less defense dice.
Correct.
I
actually should have had. I guess it didn't transfer from the conversion, but I should have had that the profane place itself should have done damage to me. I guess I didn't transfer that disad. But I'm still role-playing that because the place should be making me feel weaker, which is why she is not coming out right now.
All right, Aldo and Diamond Jim, I just want to remind you, you guys have Men Keparain. I think that I pronounced that somewhat close.
That's right.
It's a 1 die against something basically profane, negative. A dude punching you, not really going to help with that. But, don't worry, there'll be plenty of time.
When that priestess sucked your life force, that was a good time to use that.
Yes, that's right. I forgot I had it. I was thinking about it the other day too. Like I was like 4 days ago. I was thinking about that item.
All right.
Oh well.
So you guys are rushing downstairs, heedless of your danger.
Yep.
Of course, we're superheroes.
We're superheroes.
Awesome.
Like Thor once said, heroes are known for unbridled capacity for stupidity. That's one.
You guys run down the stairs. Who wants to be in the front? Blue Streak can easily get there if that's what her goal is.
That's what I'll do. I'll get out front.
I would be coming in second then.
All right.
Beep, beep.
Who's in the back then, out of the last two?
Well, Can't really leave down there, so I'll probably be the last one there.
Okay. So, as you guys bust into the room, the chanting of the 13 cultists is still going on. You guys see in this dark room, candlelit, with black candles and all, that there are 13 cultists standing on these, as the room ziggurats down in tiers, on 13 steps, standing around this sarcophagus that is in the middle that Aldo was talking about. Up on a far side is the High Priestess character. Everybody go and give me, other than Aldo. Actually, Aldo, you're welcome to. Go give me an awareness.
I'd also like an occult roll if possible, Brandon.
Sure.
My occult
Rolled
roll.
a 7.
My occult roll was a 10. My awareness was a 16.
So you have 3 dice in awareness?
Yes, and I rolled 655.
Wow, that's good. All right.
Brandon,
Yes.
could I use my super running to run around the place and my awareness to see if I can see anything other than what we just saw? If there's anything in any dark corners, or just run around the periphery real quick before.
Sure. I'll let you use that as basically as the others are trying to make their way down, that you are super fast and are able to just kind of run through. And so instead of awareness, because it is darkness that's hiding things, you can roll that to find out what you see.
Okay.
Okay, so Alice has got it. Jim, what's your awareness?
One.
No. Jim, what's your awareness?
He said he
Let me
rolled a
roll
1.
it.
Oh, okay.
4. I rolled a 4.
4.
Never mind.
And Lee, what did you end up with on that super speed or super running?
16.
16. Okay. So Lee and Alice, you guys come down, and Lee, you run around and you find in corners, you find one individual that as you run up and quickly away, that he is a burned individual with a cloak up over his head, but everything about him, his skin is just kind of like ashing off as you generate wind that goes by him. And then there is Alice. You just catch sight of him in the distance as you are the second person in, and then the other one is this individual that has. Pardon me. He has like a gallows rope or something similar to that, and a like a man catcher with him.
Okay.
And
did my
Alice,
occult
what's
give
your
anything?
occult roll?
My occult roll was a 10.
Your occult roll is a 10. You recognize these individuals as one of them fits the mythological description of Al-Bubu,
Okay.
which is like an Egyptian version of the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
And the rope and the man catcher are to catch the children who have not behaved, and to for his nefarious purposes. And then the other one is kind of a similar story, but it's the child that would not listen to their parents and therefore became burned, and took that and became a dark individual and is known as the Burnt Man.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I have got the initiatives already rolled, and so you guys are kind of coming in with some level of surprise, but they had some idea that something was going on since the big heavy guy made his way down here. And so Jim is actually going to get attacked. I guess I can run that after Jim gets back so he can defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Streak, you are next in the initiative order as you quickly make a circuit around the room, get an idea of the layout, and see the individuals that weren't immediately apparent, were kind of hidden on the sides. So, what are you wanting to do?
Well, first of all, I want to access my academia to see if I had heard of either the person that represents the gallows man or the burnt child.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. See what I know about them. I know it's not that much, but still, any bit of knowledge might help. Woo! 12.
Okay.
A 2d6.
That I know that you had only the 2 dice on it. You recognize the gallows individual as an individual from Egyptian folklore that is supposed to come and carry away those that have been naughty children, basically, and that parents will tell them, you know, you need to eat all your soup or else Al Bubu will come for you. And that's, you know, Al Bubu knocking on the door.
Brandon, I have a question.
What's that?
This is for what Scarab shows me. Is this burnt man Dictys, the son of Isis?
I do not believe so.
Okay, because Isis was so fond of her younger son that she burned him with magical fire in order to burn away his sins and make him immortal.
Yeah.
So that's what's in the mythology for it. So
that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. With a 12 like that, 2d 6, would I be able to know what his vulnerabilities were? Would I know anything about what his vulnerabilities would be?
He will be attracted to those naughty children that he likes to cook and he likes to eat. Specifically, as for any weakness on him, you are uncertain of something. If you have a pitch for me, by all means, I'm willing to listen to it on 2d6.
Okay.
On the 12 on those 2d6.
The pitch, huh? Well, my father may have been familiar with something like that, so the rumors could have been in the islands too. So I'm going to see if I can access any old legends about, you know, children. It probably would be some kind of fishman that would be dunking the children into the ocean, or it could have been like the cannibals that were on some of the other islands.
Well, you mentioning fishmen. You know, I would say that with your background, you might believe that he has a aversion to water, while he has an attraction to children. And so, if you could bring a large amount of water into the scene, by all means, you might be able to get bonuses against him.
All right, then. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go find me some water.
All right, go ahead and roll your super speed for that.
19.
19. Okay, so I'm basically going to give that as 3 bonus competency dice on the attack that is using that water. How are you getting water down here? What is the flash basically doing to get that accomplished?
What kind of building am I in?
You are in what seems to be like a church. Whether it was once that or not, it's a 2-story building with 2 sub-basements, like I was saying, designed to be a church, but it's a far older building than that.
Okay, since I made the runaround, did I happen to see any room that looked like maybe a janitorial closet or a...
Up on the first floor, yeah, there is that.
Is there a bucket just laying around, or a bowl?
Sure.
I go get one, fill it with water, and bring it back.
Okay. Next up. So Jim, you are the last one on the stairs, and as you come rushing down, the shadows rise up on the stairs and begin to slash at you, similar to how they were on the rooftop. But these seem to be denser shadows as they take a swipe at you, and so they're going to attack you. And what are you defending with?
I guess I'll defend with my armor.
Okay. I have a 16 on my attack.
I got 21.
Well, The shadows slash at you, and they hit without a problem, but they just kind of do nothing to your crystalline body. Ghost light.
Okay. So he would like to come into the room and basically open his cape and flash as many people in the room as he can with the light of the wisp, right? So he can affect up to 4 targets, but I don't know, based on how you're envisioning how we're positioned, who he can affect without getting his teammates and whatnot, right?
You can put yourself in front of the teammates, and therefore they're protected by your cloak, I would say.
Okay, so that's feasible to do, given the layout. Okay, so he'd like to do that.
Okay. This is 4 targets?
Yeah, 4 targets. So he would like for a High Priestess to be one of those targets.
She is at the far side of the room from you guys. So.
Okay. So not feasible to get her?
How good is your flight?
My flight, I move at 50 miles an hour.
You could definitely get to the far side if you want to.
Okay, so I'm picturing kind of midway. I want her to be in the effect area, but if the 13 people are in between me and her, that would be good. And I don't know who else is there, but go ahead and roll the attack.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ooh, it is 4 5s, so it's
nice.
20.
Wow. And are you trying to blind them or what?
Yes, this is effectively a blinding attack.
Okay. All right. For her, she seems to be just kind of cloaked in darkness that it clings to her.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the shadows that seem to be pushed away by it,
right.
She holds on to it.
Right.
Lost die. Alright. This does not look good for her, though. And you had how much? 20?
20 total, yeah.
Okay, that is a failure by 2 on her. Okay. So... She, even with the darkness clinging around her, the light blasts so bright. Your guardian of the twilight paths or something seems to be offended in some way by what is here, by what they are doing. The 13 occultist guys all seem to be taken aback by what just happened, and they stagger around, blinded. The chanting being disrupted for the moment from that. The Scarab, we are on to you.
I would like to actually do two-pronged thing. One, I basically want to set myself up for my next round or set the team up for the next round. So what I'm trying to do is create a sandstorm in this room. I am going to angle the sandstorm so that the sand is actively picking up and reflecting the light that ghost light is doing. So I'm basically creating little sparks everywhere of pling pling pling, because sand is very reflective of light in depending on where the sand comes from. It is one reason why you get sand blind, like snow blind. So I'm going to create a sandstorm in here to with the effect of providing us competency dice to make things easier.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your wizardry for an imbue, I guess?
No, this is magical. This is elemental control. 15.
15. All right, so dice. That will be 2 dice to somebody. Go ahead and pass that to whoever you are doing.
At the moment, given the situation, I am going to be giving that to Ghostlight.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So she is amplifying your light.
They don't seem to like the light, so let's use the light against them.
All right.
Use their weakness.
The priestess looks up at you from behind her shadowed darkness and gazes at you, Aldo, and she says, you have come here, but You have only come for despair. And with that, the shadows that she waves her hand, and the shadows just seem like an extension of her will, and they lash out at you.
Okay. Is it possible for me to use some of the competency dice that were just given to me to say that the blinding effect that's going on as the light reflects is making her hard to target me?
Sure.
Okay. So I will do that, and I will try to, and then evade with my reaction, I guess.
Okay. And coming off the back of her cloak, these just giant wings, basically, made of nothing, of the shadows, kind of swarm up, and then she begins to glide in the air.
By the way, Brandon,
So
when I was casting the sandstorm, I did want to position myself. I want to be I want to run over and jump onto the sarcophagus, basically. Make sure that I'm standing on it to keep it closed.
Okay.
That's where I'm positioned.
Go ahead and defend, Alice. Ghostlight, I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay.
What am I defending against?
A necrotic energy that rushes up at you as you try and connect with that sarcophagus.
Okay, because it is profane, I am unable to use my scarab shell. I am taking my -2 dice, and
oh no.
I am going to I'm going to call on the power of Isis and call upon her holy fire. Let's try it. So Scarab will come out and call upon the holy fire. Hey, that's not too bad. 8.
What is holy fire?
14. Oh, I am using her wizardry, so I'm basically, defending myself and calling upon her blessings, and so scarabs basically start coming up around me and start building barriers around me, but I am basically calling upon her blessing.
Okay, so what was your activation roll?
I got a 13.
That's a failure if it's a 5-die wizardry.
It's a 3-die wizardry.
Okay.
I can't go any higher right now, so I stopped at 13. So now I'm actually casting my thing. And the scarabs, as they come up, they just start basically lighting, catching the light that's coming up all around us, and they literally look like they are lighting on fire, the scarabs. And, wow, I only got a 9 on the defense, on the actuality.
A 9?
Yep.
On the
But
defense.
I'm basically standing on a pyre of scarabs as they start lighting on fire and falling off of the pyre.
That sounds pretty cool, though the firemen might have a problem with you.
As I call for the holy fire.
So I have a 21, which 21 versus 9, that is 3 degrees failure, Alice.
Okay. Scarab screams out in pain, and she is going to take... I'm going to take 2 in composure, and I'm going to take 1 in fortitude.
Okay. Back over to Aldo.
Yes. All right.
As Scarab is screaming, and her pyre of scarabs are just swallowed up by the darkness.
Okay.
And I don't have near as good of a roll here.
Well, I didn't roll super hot. I rolled 13.
You beat me by 1.
Ooh,
12.
Thank goodness. Okay, great. So he ducks under the arm as the,
Did the competency die save you?
It did.
Yay!
It did. In fact, I rolled a 1 on one of the dice, so it might have saved me by exactly 1.
I always, I have these 12-sided 6-siders, and I always use those for my competency dice, so that way I can tell which one it is. And then I can blame it or cheer for it. Diamond Jim, you are not yet into the room. You are being attacked on the stairs by the shadows there that you saw Ghostlight diminish earlier from the rooftops.
All right. Well, is it solid? Can I attack it?
You guys did basically beat on it earlier. I don't remember if you specifically attacked it or not.
No, I think it was
Well, I'm gonna
Ghost
hit
Light and Scarab.
big surprise.
Yeah, I think so.
This might come a complete surprise to you, but I'm going to use my super strength to attack it. I know
Okay.
that's rare. I never ever
Total
do that.
shock. Complete shock. I don't know how I'm ever going to live through this shock. I mean, I can just feel my heart attack coming.
All right, it tries to basically move away from you as you come swinging, and the shadows basically dodge away, disappear into the regular shadows. And let's see how this goes.
As Gilbert Godfrey said, "Why am I not surprised? I'm going to get a heart attack for not being surprised." Well, not too bad. That's going to be 19 plus 3 is 22.
Okay. As it retreats out, you smash the wall, and then you kind of like notice it out of the corner of your eye swelling up behind you, and you quickly give a backhand and catch it. You feel that solidness in the shadow as it reels away from your blow. But you did connect with it.
Brandon, did I hear the scream from Scarab?
Yes, you did.
I'm coming, bug lady. I'm coming.
All right. That brings us to the end of round 1.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I had a question.
What's that?
Would I be able to use competency dice to bolster my super speed and do something that is maybe outside of the normal laws of physics?
It depends if you can come up with any tangential justification covered by that power, like Flash being able to vibrate through things if he had only bought super speed. Yes, you can.
Well, I have super speed, and I was thinking maybe I could run so fast that I can run along the walls until I get high enough, and then I start to let the water flow behind me so that whoever gets caught back there, and hopefully that'll work against that male creature that you said that may be affected by water. I forget his name. I think his name ends with Popo.
It was that's the burnt man. Al Bubu is the other one, the gallows man.
Yeah.
So the burnt man is the one that you brought the water for.
Ah.
But yes, you can by all means run up walls and such like that with super speed.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do that when it's my turn.
Okay. Starting off, let me just check. Yes. All right, starting off, Jim, the shadows once again reach out for you and attempt to cut you down with long shadowy talons and scything blades.
Okay, I'll defend it with fortitude.
Okay.
Oh, I can't defend the resistance. I'm sorry. To defend it, can I defend it with armor again?
Yes, it is a new round, and you can always armor. That's a magical thing about it. You can keep using it. It just gets worse each time, but this is a new round.
Okay.
I am at a 23, amazingly.
Wow.
Whoa, that could do better. I only got a 12.
Ooh. Well, I bet you're glad that I'm not at a 24 at that point. So, 23 is 2 levels of success, almost 3 levels. So, that is two pips of damage from wherever you're going to take that.
I'll take 1 off the fortitude, 1 off the composure.
Okay. It's always bad when you start losing it from your primary defense. Blue Streak, you are upstairs. You have a loaded buckets.
Right.
I'm switching
I tend
servers.
to run around till I'm on the wall, and then I'm going to put a wall of water around the burnt man.
Okay.
if I can do so.
So, I gave you how many competency die?
3.
3. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah.
So you can take 3 bonus d6s on whatever you're using as you are attacking the individual with this.
I think I will just use 2 of them and save 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you talking with super speed or super?
Oh,
running?
wow. At 3 6s, that's 18. And a 2, that's 20. 28, 31.
Oh, geez. Oh, that's pretty good on his part. Not good enough, but 31. So he has a failure by 2. The water crashes down onto this individual that some of you weren't even aware. And there's an immediate sizzling, and suddenly steam rises up as you see this person screaming Wicked Witch style as they are hit. But instead of eye melting, like I was saying, his skin is just kind of sloughing off and dusting into the wind and such. And so the water has washed away all the burned flesh, and now it's the open wounds of someone that has been freshly burned and such. And he screams in pain and looks up at Blue Streak with anger.
Catch me if you can.
An appropriate taunt from the speedster. So, Al-Bubu, the gallows man that is sent to kidnap children, is going to come out of the darkness. And since he was and still is hidden, he's going to be using a sneak attack on... Let's go ahead and use it on Scarab, because he doesn't like that she's on the sarcophagus.
Okay.
So speaking in a thick accent, he calls out as you are on it, screaming with your pile of scarabs building up around you, and he is like, she is the one. She is the one that we were warned of. We will kill her, and then the eternal pharaoh will have no worry from the scarab queen. And he is going to lash out with the lasso at you, trying to entangle you.
But he is not
pull you
specifically
out.
profane, correct?
He is the boogeyman, so that's your definition of profane. I don't see that as necessarily profane.
No, he is not. Okay. This is a new round. Sure. I'm going to use that. As he comes at me, I am going
He is lashing out his his gallows rope, basically.
As he lashes out, I am going to create a sand pit beneath him, magic of the sun and sands. Sand is going to manifest beneath him and whirl him and drop him through a portal onto another spot, so that he is going to completely miss me, because he was shooting at me here. All of a sudden, he continues to shoot at me here, and he's looking the other way.
Trying to get him lost in your sand.
Yep, 18.
Beaten by 1.
Woohoo! I'm okay.
Okay. And yes, you are able to toss him around as the sand whirls about and gets him turned about and lashes at you, but does not end up finding purchase.
Good.
The burnt man is with a hiss from both his mouth and from his skin that seems to be catching fire as the water washes away, as the dead skin has been washed away. He turns towards Blue Streak, and he begins to fire off bolts of flame at her. How do you want to dodge those bolts of flame or otherwise resist, Blue Streak?
I think I will use my resistance. My reaction.
Okay. So he fires off his flame at you. Can't argue with that. Go ahead and roll your reaction.
Okay, that's 5d6.
Yep.
Now, if I fail, could I use the last competency dice or?
No, you would want to use those before. So you could claim that competency die right now because it was based on the fact that you went and grabbed that water, and that because of that he's still aim is bad, or that you have a little bit to throw in his eye as a dirty trick basically. Because you have used your water basically, or at least most of it.
Okay, well, here goes. 27.
Nimbly dodging out of the way of bolts of fire, Blue Streak is running all around the ceiling of this inverted ziggurat that you guys are in, and the fire is scorching different parts, but Blue Streak is showing no signs of ever getting hit by it. Hi. So the cultists at this point have stopped their chanting, like I said, and they are going to go after a couple of you guys. So, first of all, a group is going to swarm up onto the scarab and try and bludgeon her with the cudgels that they have.
Okay. I am actually going to use occultism, and in Egyptian, I am going to. Well, actually, I don't know that. Were they speaking in Egyptian when they were chanting?
Yes, they were.
Okay, great. In Egyptian, I will yell out a curse at them and scare them with my occultism, using my occultism.
Okay, they are not native speakers.
Oh, they didn't sound like native speakers? Sure, then I will use it in English, and I will look really menacing, and with all that's manifesting on me and all, and I will look like I just cursed them, and scare them, and make them all hesitate on attacking me, and I will warn them all.
What is your curse?
Those that attack me shall have all their hair fall, all their teeth rot, and their eyes bleed. Hey, my dice liked that one. 16.
Nice hero you got there, yeah.
I'm scaring them.
I end up with a 17, amazingly. Okay. Like, truly amazingly.
They didn't believe me because I was too...
Oh, they definitely seem to be taken aback, but they're like, we should hit her anyways.
Okay. I failed by 1, so I take 1 damage.
Yes, I will give you a competency die. They are bludgeoning you. I am going to give you a competency die for your curse on them.
Okay. If they're bludgeoning me, then I will soak it with my armor. And at that point, Kayla comes out and goes, I don't know where you come from, but that's not okay around here.
Alright. Ghostlight, a group of them, still bleary-eyed, are going to swarm onto you.
Okay. I will try to defend by becoming insubstantial and dropping into the ground.
Okay. I think you guys want to buy me new dice or something, because mine are hot.
Oh, no.
Not as good as what I did against Alice, but...
Yeah, I mean, 11. I've taken 5 now.
14.
Oh, man. All right. I'm going to have to take that one to my reaction.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last group of cultists, they aren't really... basically, you and Scarab have too many around you. Diamond Jim is on the stairwell, so they're going to try and throw things at Blue Streak, which they're only going to get the option to throw things this round. So, because they don't have that many things to throw.
I hope I go before Diamond Jim, because I have something I want to do. That will help Diamond Jim, hopefully.
You do not.
Okay.
I will tell you that. You rolled very bad on your reaction.
Okay.
All right, so... Blue streak. You cannot use reaction to defend because you use that to defend already, and you use super speed to deliver your attack at the earlier in the round. So how are you defending at this point?
Can I use athleticism?
As long as you give me an athletic reason.
Well, because what I want to do is to weave through the occultists while they're throwing things at me, and so that I can put one of them between me and whatever missile object that they're throwing my way. So if I am very athletic, I can weave and dodge among them.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. All right, so on all 3 of these cultist rolls, they have had 2 dice come up 6s.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll grab
dice come up 6s?
Two of the dice that they're rolling come up 6s, and then they have a 3rd die that has been above average each time. I'll switch to some of Alex's old dice, Alice.
Oh, now you're never going to roll above a 2.
You know what? Maybe I should just do super running, see if I can just outrun them.
Okay.
I am a very lucky person, I have to warn you. Let me see, maybe not today.
I have a 16. You beat them, so.
What did I say about being lucky?
That is all the groups of cultists. Ghostlight, you are up, my friend.
Okay, so he ghosted into the ground. Didn't take enough of a breath going down, so he's kind of winded a little bit, so that's why he took the reaction damage. He's going to go under the floor, come up behind the priestess.
Yep.
And try to get her from behind. Get a surprise attack from behind.
Okay.
He's going to be punching with the wisp projecting from his fist. He will use the last of the competency dice that were given to him by Scarab.
From the sandstorm.
From
Brandon,
the sandstorm.
Your camera got turned off.
Oh yeah.
There you go. You're coming back. Oh.
There it is. Rebooting at work.
Yep. You're great.
And also, yeah, okay. And also use the extra die that he gets for starting the session.
Okay.
Ooh. You really want to blow him out of the water there.
Well, you know.
And what are you doing with all those dice that I hear?
He is launching from the wall behind her with the wisp projecting from his fist and going to give her a punch.
Okay.
Back of the head. Try to knock her out.
Okay, she is going to use her composure to defend this time.
All right.
No, they don't like me as much, but I can't complain about them. I'm at a 16 on defense.
I'm at a 25.
Woo! So 25. So we have got 2 degrees, not quite 3.
Mm-hmm.
You clock her and you give her head a good spin round. Actually, you probably are clocking her in the back of the head.
Yeah, that's what
as you're coming out of the wall, and you give her a good punch right to the back of the head. She stumbles forward, her wings quickly even her out as she's beginning to fall a little bit, and she spits blood out.
Ouch!
After being hit in the back of the head.
I don't know about the spare lady. You want to back down?
It's her turn. She gives a disturbing laugh.
Oh no.
You do not know the danger that you have come upon. You are the fly that has walked into the spider's den. For eternal torment rises this evening, and you shall be the second. And she looks at the decayed husk
Oh, no.
of the guy in the loincloth that's on the ground that he will
crap.
feed upon.
Oh, crap.
And she is going to once again lash out with her wings this time, just batter down at you.
Okay, well, I felt that before, and I don't like it. So, oh no, well, this is not the necrotic attack, is it?
Nope.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm not as scared. Okay, well, I'm going to defend with my, I guess, my fighting. I'm going to kind of block her wings like a martial block.
Okay.
And I will use one of my just normal competency dice because I have 3, and then you awarded us 1 for previous playing. So I will use that. One of those dice, not all of them.
Okay. Oh, you have betrayed me, evil dice. This is why I should never use someone else's. Only my powerful dice. 10. 10 I have.
Oh, 17.
Ah.
So he kung fu blocked that.
Blocking the wings. Okay. Diamond Jim.
Kung fu fighting. Whoa.
Yeah.
Those guys are fast as lightning.
Diamond Jim, you are on the stairs against these shadow creatures that are attacking you. So far to no effect, I believe.
Is my turn?
Yep.
Well, you know what? I think I just had about enough of this. I'm going to spend a competency dice on my super strength. I'm trying to grab this thing. And when I grab it, I'm going to slam it right through the wall of the room I'm trying to get to. Can I do that, Mr. GM?
Sounds like you can give it a try. I'll hope that my dice don't betray me again. Come, my shadows! My shadow minions! Oh, treacherous dice!
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's 7.
Oh my gosh beats a 12.
17 and 11 is 28.
28. Alright, so 28, 22, 16. So, you take and you beat these shadows against the wall. They, Diamond Jim comes in Kool-Aid Man style as, shadows, they escape his grasp, but, they are far weaker than what you have been fighting, Jim. And, they look small and pitiful. Once they were the Tarrasque of shadows attacking people on stairs. Now they are Toto from The Wizard of Oz.
Knock, knock.
All right,
Hang on, Colin.
Closing out the round, the Scarab.
Okay, so I was just doing a little research, and
My first question: are you moving off?
yes, I am moving off.
Okay.
I was just doing a little research, and ants, well, they are known to be very strong. They are known to be able to carry, depending on the species, up to 1,000 times their body weight. Some research has now shown that their neck joints can handle 5,000 times their body weight, but that's only their neck joints. Apparently, scarabs beat ants. They are able to do 1,141 times their body weight. So, I am going to use these scarabs, and I'm going to call my army of scarabs, and I am going to line us up with, my scarabs are basically going to throw Diamond Jim at the priestess.
Okay. Didn't Lee get to do an attack yet?
What?
I think Lee got missed or something.
No. First round. Yeah, first round she went and got water. Second round she came back and dumped it onto the burnt man.
I'm going to use my competency
pretty decent
die.
effect.
Just watching out for you, honey.
I know, sweetheart, but I'm so fast. I usually go ahead of everybody.
Well, it should be. You're a speedster.
23.
Okay. So that is 3 competency die to Jim, is what you're saying?
I'm
or
throwing
is
Jim at
throwing him the effect of a scarab attack?
No, I'm going to
And
give 3 competency die to Jim because
I didn't hear the activation on that wizardry either.
I apologize. You are correct. This was going at a 5 die on that. Oh, I made it. Oh, wow! I rolled better on that roll than I did on my final roll. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I definitely make it. But yeah,
Gotcha.
It's going to do better to give him 3 dice than it is to throw him at it. So I'm going to give him 3 dice.
Who has taken reaction damage?
Not me.
I have.
Aldo, you're down by 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jim, I threw you at them, and you can finish the comic panel by launching at them and get 3 bonus dice from me.
Well, that's going to be at the end of next round, Alice.
Yeah, he's flying through the air. It's going to take a while, but the scarabs threw you through the air. Seriously, that's pretty strong. They are stronger than ants. That's really incredible.
Did they come together into a being that grabbed him and threw him? Or
I was actually thinking of a scarab trampoline.
The way that I pictured is all of a sudden the wave of scarabs, suddenly Jim feels himself picked up, and then they, just kind of catapult him forward on a wave of them.
I think I like
cool.
that, the whoosh.
Mm-hmm.
So
Surfing USA.
Yeah.
All the way from Egypt and all the way to New York. Alright, as you are engaged with the cultists, Al-Bubu, the gallows man, is going to go ahead and try and get you into a position where they can really lay it into you, Scarab. So he is going to try and get his man-catcher onto you to aid them.
Okay. This is a new round. I am going to... Well, as he's coming at me, I'm going to say that wave that's moving through the room right now basically pushes him from behind, basically pushing him out of the way, and he loses aim. So my wizardry activation. I failed to activate my wizardry.
Okay, so you lose wizardry for the round. Now, Aldo, how does she defend? Is she a 0 at that point?
I believe I get a 0.
Is that an inappropriate defense, I believe is the term in the book?
Yeah, I mean, so...
Never had this happen before.
Yeah, I guess she is at she's at,
I'm at a 0.
She's at a 0.
Okay.
Ow!
He is going to do 1 die of restriction damage to you, basically, so this should probably come off of your reaction because it's immobilizing.
If it's immobilizing at that point, the armor should be able to soak it as it's grabbing on, and the armor manifests and soaks it. So I'm gonna soak it with that. My armor now. By the way,
because you have a force field, so
yes,
that it ablates it. The sarcophagus is cracking open, and this black light emanates from within as the lid starts to float up from it. Blue streak.
Is it possible I can use my super running to create a force field around the party to protect everybody from any incoming missile projectiles?
So you want to create a kinetic field? Is that what you're trying to do? Because speed would create a kinetic field.
Yeah,
well, people aren't really throwing things. The one guys that did throw things were at you, and they don't seem to have anything else to throw at the moment. Everybody else is pretty much mixing it up in melee.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can use super speed in some form of attack.
Well, I mean, that's a simple. I mean, you could run at somebody and punch them at super speed. You could punch them 1,000 times in 1 split second with your super speed.
Yes, I'll do that.
You can, run through clothesline people with super running, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the most dangerous looking person right now?
The guy coming out of the sarcophagus. That's my vote.
Okay.
You haven't seen anybody there.
rapid punching.
You did see when Scarab even touched that sarcophagus, she let out a loud yelp and seems to be greatly affected. Aldo is engaged with this woman in flowing robes with wings of shadow that is lashing out at him. The burned guy, the burnt man, by all means, he didn't hit you, but he's literally throwing fire. The gallows man has the man catcher. Then there's just groups of these cultists that, they're pretty prevalent. So there's lots of danger.
Right. What would happen if the sarcophagus was destroyed?
We don't know.
If I was to go there and vibrate so rapidly, I think you said there was a crack already started there. If I was to vibrate so rapidly to widen the crack and shatter that part of it that's already starting to break.
You can try by all means. It's the lid is lifting off of it, beginning to float up as this black light begins to play across the room.
That's what you meant by a crack, right? That the seal is cracking, but it's not an actual crack in the structure.
Okay.
It's that the lid is rising.
And I don't think you want the thing to get out.
Yeah, that's kind of my opinion. I tried to stand on it, but it hurt.
I look around, and do I see anything heavy enough that if it falls on top of the lid, it will cause it to go back down?
The room seems replete from anything like that. So, nope. The room is designed basically for some sort of arcane ceremony. Everybody's seen a horror movie or two that would tell them that.
Right. Okay, wow, I'm trying to think of what else I could do.
Well, I'll go ahead and put you into a delay. When you come up with something, we'll just call out and we'll jump on back to you.
Let me use my academia to see what I know about Egyptian law, and see if I can find some kind of clue there. Okay.
Okay.
I have 2d6 that I can use. $11.
11. Your head fills up with all sorts of stories of mummies' curses and things like that. The dangers that are supposedly locked away in these types of in Egyptian tombs and such like that. The state that the sarcophagus appears to be in would lead you to believe it's not one that has been curated. It is old. It is covered with dust and such like that, and still has some of the dirt that accumulated on it, stuck there, and so it doesn't look like it's ever been polished for show. As for something that you can do against it, by all means, like you say, if you do want to destroy it, you're welcome to, but the black light energy that is flowing out of it does not fill your heart with any hope on what releasing the creature inside might do.
Okay, Scarab Queen, is there any way that you can consecrate the sarcophagus? Bless it, in other words. To reverse the cursed nature.
She understands what you're asking. She's feeling really weak right now. Getting near that thing is tearing her out of me. It really, really hurts. We're barely able to stand right now. I don't know that she can consecrate it unless we can stop whatever's going on here. Then she can do something about it. But right now, it hurts too much to be near it.
If it helps you, Blue Streak, this lady's in charge, as he's kind of like blocking her blows and trying to set up for another punch.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. Is there a holy symbol that can be drawn on the sarcophagus that may attempt to stop it from opening? Like an ankh or something like that?
Brandon, can I roll my occult?
I'm certain you can answer.
There are charms, but it would take some power to channel through it. I gave both Diamond Jim and I gave both Diamond Jim and Ghostlight something earlier, and something similar would work, but you need it 100 times more powerful.
Can I see what it looks like,
the girl,
guys?
The high priest, the head bitch in charge, is right over there. You can try punching her 100 times.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm going to charge into the high priestess and see if I can knock it over.
Okay.
If I got nothing else, that's super running or super speed that I can use.
If you're trying to knock her over, that sounds like super running to me, but I'm not certain which one's better for you or if Aldo disagrees on that.
No, it's really
super
her car.
running, I have 5. Super speed, I have 4.
Yeah, so super running definitely sounds like the better play as you guys beat on who seems to be identified as Umbress.
Okay, I'm going to do that. 18.
She is going to lash out with the darkness to try and create barriers using those the darkness tendrils to keep you away from her, and that is not going to do it. That's 5-11, so that's a failure by 2. And she does keep you away, but although you've been beating on her and she's definitely taken it, you haven't seen her sweat yet. But now she seems to be getting worried as she's basically putting all of her attention into keeping Blue Streak away from her at the moment.
Hey, I'm going to keep it up then.
All right.
Got her on the ropes, guys.
Yep, and I gave Diamond Jim 3 dice, so that should help.
All right. The cultists are going to go in swinging. They continue on Scarab. Is your armor broken at this point, Scarab?
Yes.
Okay. They kind of give a rally and say in their accented voices, the light fades from. Oh no, these guys weren't accented. It was the other dude. They're like, the light fades from a. Let's take her out, boys. And let me drop a die. All right. Hey, that's at least better than what I've been doing. Alice, how are you defending? You've already failed a wizardry.
Yep. I am going to use elemental control, and I'm going to call forth the Feather of Mott, and so therefore the sand appears in front of me, and it creates a large feather, and basically acts as a shield for me.
Okay.
Lucky Charm. Ooh, that dropped out of. Oh my goodness.
Are we playing Cat Miraculous?
No, not Cat Miraculous. 17.
17. You are able to. They are clearly featherweights because you are able to brush them aside.
It creates this large feather, and then it disperses, pushes off their attacks.
Aldo, you disengaged with your group, right? They beat on you, and then you ran away. Okay, so I've got 2 loose groups. I'm going to send one of them at Diamond Jim and one of them at Blue Streak at this point. So Blue Streak, a group of these the cultists that threw things, come up to you and now are trying to bludgeon you with their fists and into submission. And they're like, we got to protect Umbress. Yeah, she's the boss. And so my dice really did not like you guys at the beginning, and then since I swapped, they can't complain. They're not rolling terrible, but
Brandon, I apologize. The Feather of Mott actually comes out as the representation of a lotus. So a lotus flower came out in front of me and faced this way and shielded and started deflecting blows as the leaves started to move. I apologize.
You wanted a lotus, but you got a feather.
Sure, I wanted a lotus, got a feather.
So Blue Streak, how are you defending as these 4 guys rush up to you to try and get you off of Umbress?
Well, the best thing I could do is super running, and
so super running you used on your way in for the attack to Umbress. So you could use super speed, but each thing you can only use once per round.
Okay, well then I'll use super speed.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
And you two, don't forget that you still have the Menkep array.
Oh, I have it in mind. Thank you.
Cool. When you go beat this priestess up.
Yeah.
16.
Okay, you are able to quickly dodge out of the way of all of them, not having a single blow land upon you. And my last group, like I said, they're going to rush over to Diamond Jim, who is surfing USA. And they see how this is going to go. They're more trying to grab and restrain, basically knock him off of this oncoming wave of the beetles. I now have Ringo and John and
Me
Paul
too.
and all
I
just
went there
kind of carrying him across.
Help! I
Alright,
need
so use armor
somebody's help.
Are you using armor to defend, Brandon?
No, because they're trying to push you off, and so it doesn't matter if you're tough. They're trying to more restrict you rather than injure you at the moment.
Okay.
So you can use like fortitude or something like that, I would say, because fortitude's still like your toughness in general, but
Okay. They're just moves. They probably won't give me too much trouble. Oh my. Yeah, I got 20.
okay, well, they try and grab you, restrain you, and you're able to shrug them off as they come at you.
Yeah, I like trying to stop a train.
Aye. Scarab, we're on to you.
Okay. I have... Well,
On to you, Scarab. We know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I've already given him 4 dice essentially, and given him 1 die. So at this point, I might as well give myself some help. This is the round that I utterly failed my defense on my wizardry, right? Or is this a new round?
Yes, this is that round.
Okay. Sure. I am going to use my occultism then to... I've used both those. Yeah. I'm going to use my occultism, and I am going to start using a counter spell, essentially. I'm going to counter chant whatever the priestess is doing and try and basically reverse what's going on, or basically hold
Well, at the
it off.
moment, she seems to be heavily engaged.
Okay.
And so everything that's happening seems to have already been put into place. The withered husk of the guy that you guys fought on the rooftops might have been the last bit to really get this ritual completed.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for me right now. I'm out of abilities to do anything big with. I, at that point, will simply take... Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to actually, at this point, medical myself. I am really bad. So I'm going to try and heal myself.
Alright, you have people literally bludgeoning you at the moment,
yeah,
so I'm going to say that is not appropriate at this time.
That crowd is still on me, aren't they?
Yep, you guys have, other than all those opening attack, which worked well on all of them, have not paid much attention to these empowered cultists.
Sure. I am actually at that point going to use my the die you gave me, competency die you gave me for them. I'm going to use occultism, and I am going to try and start chanting a depowering on them because they seem empowered. I am going to start chanting and depowering and try and sap away the profane energy and disperse it from them.
Okay.
I got 11.
I set the target number, you matched it, so yes.
I got a die.
Yep. So you are going to go ahead, and you see these shadows that are kind of clinging onto the cultists and such from the group that you're engaged with drop away from them.
Okay.
Ghost Light.
All right. Go for another punch. We got her on the ropes, so... Actually, you know what? From where he... no, yeah, he's just going to go for another punch. He's not really... Yeah.
She is going to try and fly away from you here.
Okay. Alrighty. You know what? I'm gonna put another competency dice into it.
Okay.
I have 2 left after this. Oh man, I rolled crap. 7, 10, 12.
12. You have a win by 1 on me.
Okay. That was on 5 dice.
Ooh, jeez.
Oh,
my
wow.
my 8 feels really good on 2 compared to that.
Sorry.
No problem.
Alright. So, 12. She will take it to composure again, and it's pretty obvious that she is on her last legs here.
Okay.
As she is battered and beaten by you. She is sweating profusely, looks scared, and is calling out. And she's like, "Eternal Pharaoh, come aid us in our hour of need."
And she's about to take a massive amount from our tank.
Alright, the Burnt Man is going to go ahead and continue throwing at Blue Streak. So, Blue Streak has done super running and super speed. I don't think anybody has... Oh, Cultist attacked her. But that's why she super ran. Yeah, so all of your resistances are still in place, Blue Streak, as this guy is tossing bolts of flame at you.
Okay, my best would be reaction. So
okay.
I can use that to dodge, right?
Yep, you can.
Okay, that's 5d6. Um, 23.
Okay. You nimbly dodge out of the way as he tries to light you on fire.
Oh.
The darkness swarms into the room, and we're going to go ahead and have this go after the closest person, which is going to be Scarab. And so this little, much smaller shadow than you're accustomed to attacking you starts coming up. It looks like it'd be a match for about 3 of your Scarabs.
Okay.
After that, it might be out of its league.
Sure.
So how are you defending?
Persistent.
Yeah. Well, at this point, are we on a new round yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Little thing, huh? Sure. I'm just going to use my awareness, and I'm going to see where it's coming from, and I'm just going to basically... Oh, look. I'm just going to dodge it with my awareness and just tilt my head. No, I don't think so. I hope. That is 10.
Okay, you easily get out of the way.
Cool. Yeah, dodged my head.
Umbrus, having gotten no aid from the Eternal Pharaoh, looks at all of you and says, "This is not the end. Though I may flee this day, I will return and be your doom." And with that, the shadows just kind of close around her wings, and then they fade out, and she's gone.
Huh.
Pussy.
Okay.
Okay. And Diamond Jim, having 3 competency die to smash where she just was, beats right into the wall next to Ghostlight, pulls himself out of the wall, and then you get an action, but no longer have your awesome competency dice, since they were aiming you right into her.
So you can do whatever you want. You only have 1 a competency die from the Command Kept Array now from me to use somewhere.
All right. Is anyone else anyone else causing trouble?
Yeah, you've got the Burnt
Sarcophagus.
Man, the Gallow Man. You've got a group of cultists that are basically 2 steps away from you.
Yep,
you
lots
have
of
your
stuff.
little Darkness Toto.
Lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah, You know what? I like the new girl, and I don't like this guy trying to burn her. So I'm gonna walk up to Mr. Ashman. I'm gonna try to. Well, is he too dangerous to touch?
He is lighting on fire and seems to be kind of cackling in pain as he does it.
All right, let me get the other guy with a hook and everything. Let me go get Krampus here.
All right, so you head on over to Albubu, the gallowsman.
All right, so I guess I'll use my super strength, right?
Yep.
And my that'll be 66 since I'm adding my competency dice. Oh well, that could be better. Gee, that could have been a lot better. 18.
Okay. 12, 13. So you do beat him by 1. Coming over as he tries to block you off with the man catcher, and you just kind of come up and bend the man catcher around, breaking it, and are now right in his face.
Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us for Baby with Knives this session. Thanks to Brandon for GMing, and thanks to all my fellow players, and thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.